Yo, what's up? It's Tarks the Turtle, and I'm coming to you from the Painted Lady Tattoo and Piercing Studio in Parkmore, Stanton. Welcome to Permanently Painted. I'm your boy Tarks the Turtle, and today I'm going to be taking you through something that is very, very important. Now, this is something that one could argue is as important as choosing your artist or choosing your tattoo design. That's right. Today we are talking about tattoo aftercare. So welcome to it. We are going to be talking about tattoo aftercare. And so what I want to start with is what you need to do once you've gotten a tattoo. So once your artist is done tattooing you, they're going to put some form of wrapping over it. It's going to be cling wrap or something of the like. Now what you want to do is keep that on for 3 hours minimum. And if you don't want to keep it on for 3 hours, you feel like you need to keep it on a little longer, then you want to go up to a maximum of 24 hours with that bad boy. Then once you take it off, you're going to give it a clean, give it a wash, and then from there we start into our 2 schools of thought that we are going to be discussing. There are a million different ways to heal your tattoos. So if you've heard something that works better for you, it is always good to stick with what your body likes, but here's some other options that you can give a bash. So the first method we're going to be talking about is second skin. Now, second skin is a product that is used for burn victims and things like that. So all it is just a layer that goes over the tattoo and it keeps that section protected. Now you can use the second skin from anywhere from 4 days to a full week, and you keep that on. So I'd say for a color piece, you'd want to keep that second skin on for the full week process. If it's something smaller, a little bit less detail or a little bit less ink, then you can throw it or take it off at about the 4-day mark, and then it should be cool. You're going to pull it off and there'll be a scab outline of your tattoo, which is pretty cool, but then once you realize it's gross, then you throw that bad boy away. Then from there on out, what you're going to do is just give it a wash and put some coconut oil or some moisturizer on once a week, well, once a day for a couple more weeks, just to give that some more vibrancy. When you're putting on any creams and stuff like that, I would suggest Flash Heal, Gun Wax, or Tattoo Addict for those products. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a video just to explain to you how to put the second skin on, as well as what it looks like when you're looking for it in the shops, so check it out. So this is the second skin, or upside flexi grid, second skin as we call it. So as you can see, on the one side it's got the clear grid, and then on the other side it's got the paper that says first remove. So what you want to do is remove the side that says remove first. So on most of the different kinds that you'll find, there will be a little slit in the middle of the page, like, well, roughly in the middle, like that. So you can just bend it and it gets quite easy to take it off. You'll find that if it doesn't have that separation, it is quite a challenge. So just make sure that you separate this white paper from the adhesive side, so that this side doesn't have the sticky side stuck to it. You want this side to be pretty sticky. It is quite sticky, so you'll know if you've made the mistake. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove the one piece of tab. You're going to find your tattoo that you're healing. I'm not necessarily healing anything, but I'm going to stick it over here just as an example. So what you want to do is clean the area, and then you're going to stick on the second skin. So you're going to stick it on with the one side first, flatten it nicely, ensure there's no air bubbles or anything, and then what you do is lift it on the other side. I just kind of peel it down and then peel the white paper off. Again, you want to kind of just press it down, make sure it's all stuck and nice and flat. Now, like on the paper side, you will see there's another perforation, so you can just like literally give it a rub like that and it'll come off, and then you peel that part off once again. Now what you're going to want to do is just have a look around your second skin, see if there's any sides lifting, press it down flat, and make sure there's no air bubbles or anything like that. If you do find a little air bubble under the second skin, what you're going to want to do is just take a pin, prick a little hole in it, cut another little section of second skin and just stick it over again so that it seals it up. But essentially that's what the second skin looks like on the tattoo. It's nice and fairly hidden. Great, so now we are going to be going on to some of the pros and cons that you may experience with second skin. So the pros that I find with second skin is it just makes that tattoo aftercare that much easier, much simpler task. There's not much to worry about. You just put it on for a week, and then you're done. You go and life can continue as normal. You can shower a lot easier because you don't have to worry about not getting your tattoo completely soaked. You still can't bath or swim, so submerging is still not okay. However, you can just live a little bit more easily. If you've got dogs or cats, they're not going to worry you about getting fur in those tattoos. You don't have to consistently keep changing your bed sheets and bleaching your bath and washing your bath out to take baths and showers and whatnot. So it just makes life a little bit more convenient when you have the second skin. Some of the cons: in the hotter weather, we tend to find that it gives ingrown hairs and things like that. Your skin starts reacting a little bit iffy. If you've got any eczemas or anything like that, I wouldn't suggest using it. Any skin conditions or anything like that, I wouldn't suggest using the second skin because that can cause reactions. Oftentimes people can pull the second skin off too early, and then you'll find it removes the ink and it pulls the tattoo out, and your tattoo doesn't look as cool as you'd want it to look. But all in all, I would say second skin is the type of healing that I use the most. I don't really like to use it on my fingers and my hands because it tends to fall off in the elbow dips and around the sides of your elbows and your legs and things like that. Parts of your body that move a lot, it tends to just kind of flake off, and then that doesn't work so nicely, and then it ends up becoming a pain in the butt. That brings me on to the next type of tattoo aftercare that we're going to be talking about, and that is traditional healing. The more traditional way of healing is using either gun wax, Flash Heal, or Tattoo Addict. Those are the three brands that I suggest. They've got the best products, they work really well. So if you're going to use tattoo aftercare cream, definitely look up those companies for your tattoo aftercare creams because they will be the best for what you're wanting to do. Now, with tattoo aftercare cream, what you're going to want to do is, once you've taken that cling wrap off, you've given it a wash, you're going to want to put some aftercare cream over it, but you don't want to overly lather. You don't want to put too much aftercare cream on that it looks like it's suffocating, but you want to put on enough that it moisturizes your tattoo and makes it happy. You're going to do this anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day. When your tattoo starts looking dry and scabby, you're going to want to put some cream over it just to moisturize it, keep it moisturized. Especially with color tattoos, you're going to want to overly moisturize those to keep that color ink in there. So when you're doing this traditional heal, you want to try and make sure that you're changing your bed sheets often, because you don't want any dirt and bacteria and stuff that starts living in your bed sheets to start getting into the tattoo. So you want to keep those clean and change them often. You want to use clean and new towels every time you shower or bath. If you are shower or bathing, making sure to keep the tattoo out of the water as much as possible. You don't want to submerge that because it will pull the ink out of your tattoo. Please, for the love of goodness, don't use any coarse sea salts or loofahs or anything like that. If you feel like your tattoos are getting infected, please contact your tattoo artist and go and see them before you start taking it into your own hands and scrubbing, and then you end up pulling your tattoo out. Some of the pros and cons is it is a lot more work, it's a lot more effort. You've got to work towards keeping it moisturized, you've got to work towards making sure your environment's clean, you've got to neglect your puppies or your kitty cats because you can't play with them as much because you don't want to get any of their fur or stuff into that. The dogs and cats may have to sleep outside for a little while or outside the bedroom. They can't cuddle in bed with you anymore. So it starts bringing into those kind of factors that you want to be careful about your environment, where you're going. If it's a super dirty place, if you're going to a music festival afterwards, you don't want to be dry healing a tattoo. It's probably going to either pull out ink or get an infection. So the best bet for music festivals and stuff like that, either get your tattoo at least a month in advance, or otherwise use second skin and hide away from the sun. So that's going to bring me on to a nice segue into our next section. This doesn't matter what kind of healing you're doing, this you need to keep in mind, and you need to keep this in mind with any kind of... So that segues us nicely into the next thing that I want to chat about, and this doesn't matter if you're using second skin, traditional healing, whatever other choices or methods that you may be using. What you don't want to be doing is letting that tattoo get exposed to sunlight while it's healing. So for the next month and a half, keep that tattoo out of the sun. And even after healing, you still want to be putting on sunscreen and stuff, and then also trying to keep that tattoo out of the sun as much as possible, because it's going to cause your colors to fade. The sun changes the pigment in our skin, and that's what tattooing does, is it alters the pigments in your skin. So the sun is going to alter those pigments, it's going to pull out the colors, it's going to make the colors muted, it's going to make the black lines turn into a light gray, and then the worst possible thing that can happen is when you get white put into your tattoo, if it gets exposed to the sun too early, it turns yellow. And then you're not going to have highlights, you're going to have yellow lights. You're going to have a dude who looks like he's drunk off of cheap beer instead of having crisp white eyes. So again, please, no swimming, no bathing and submerging that tattoo. Keep it out of the water as much as you humanly can. Obviously still washing it, and keep it out of the sun as much as you can. Follow these simple steps that I've given you. And if you have any questions about your tattoo or feel like something's going wrong, contact your tattoo artist. They will be able to help you out and give you the steps in order to heal your tattoo properly so that you can still have a dope tattoo even if things start to go a little bit haywire. And again, even after healing it, once your tattoo is completely healed, even if you've had it for years, if you're going out into the sun, just put some sun cream on so that it doesn't alter or pull out any of that. If these videos have been helping you at all, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, etc. whatever platform you may be on, and let me know what you think, as well as let me know if there's anything that you feel like I need to cover for you, any questions that you may have surrounding your tattoos or piercings that I can perhaps help you out with. You can drop them in the comments, you can DM me, hit me up, and I will start getting on some videos about what it is you need to know about your tattoos and piercings.